everyone, and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I have another Netflix exclusive review for you guys. I'm going to review a horror sequel on Netflix by the name of The Grudge 3. As the title suggests, this is the sequel to the Grudge franchise that originally starred the actress from the Buffy television show by the name of Sarah Michelle Gellar. The Grudge 3 is a direct-to-video sequel, while the first two Grudge films were both theatrical releases. The Grudge 3 stars actors such as Shawnee Smith, and Shawnee Smith is known from the Saw franchise, where she plays the Amanda character. I really didn't expect to see that actress in this film, so it was really cool seeing her in this film. So pretty much the main plot of The Grudge 3, it takes place immediately after the events of The Grudge 2, where we have the cursed girl's sister wants to stop the curse once and for all. I won't say how, but the curse has been reborn and has now moved to Chicago and Illinois, and the cursed girl's sister wants to travel to Chicago to stop the curse once and for all. And in Chicago, there is this hotel place, and several of the clients and the tenants there are seeing a young boy, and it's the same boy, that makes the cat sound. It's the same boy that we saw in the first two Grudge films. That's pretty much the main plot of the horror sequel on Netflix by the name of The Grudge 3. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on the film called The Grudge 3, I really enjoyed this film. I actually thought it was pretty decent. I honestly didn't know what to expect in it, going into it. A lot of times with horror sequels, the sequels don't deliver as much as the first one, but I was pretty lenient with this one, and I didn't have to be lenient, honestly, because I thought The Grudge 3 was a worthy sequel to the first two films. My favorite out of them, honestly, is probably the first one, and that's just because it was my introduction to the franchise, and that's the one that kind of started the story. One of the great things about the Grudge franchise, I've always thought, is the whole overall concept of of the Grudge. A little bit of minor spoilers here. The overall concept of the Grudge itself, how it travels from place to place, the curse and all that. The guy that hung himself and then killed, his son and his wife, and I've always thought that's just kind of a cool concept. The curse lives in that person, and that's why she comes back. That's a really cool concept. It's one of my many reasons why I've always liked the Grudge franchise, and they always have a really creepy, slow burn kind of feel to them, so I've always liked that about them. And the Grudge 3, while it may not be as good as the first one, I think it's really, honestly, it's probably just as good as the first one, but the first one was my introduction to the series, and it started off that story. But one of the great things about The Grudge 3 is that it adds more to the overall backstory on the overall concept of the horror film on Netflix titled The Grudge. It really adds to the concept quite a bit. There's a little 10-minute sequence where, I don't want to say too much, but it shows the cursed girl's sister when she's traveling back to Chicago in Illinois. It shows a nice little, scene with her where it builds on the concept even more, because one of the tenants at the hotel itself is questioning why she's seeing this boy and why these things are here. And the cursed girl's sister starts to tell the tenants in the hotel why these things are happening. So I really enjoyed that, how it made, the concept even deeper and gave the movie just a deeper mythology overall. So that was just really cool seeing that concept being built on. There's also some really nice, creepy, and both eerie scenes in the movie itself. There's I don't want to say too much, but there's a scene where this paint is spilled all over the floor, and then you don't actually see the Grudge girl, but you see the handprints on the floor itself, and as the girl's backing up, and you can expect what's going to happen. The hands get closer and closer to the girl, and that was a really nice, well done scene, and had a really creepy, eerie vibe to it. Just the way that the hands walked across the floor with the reddish paint that looked kind of like blood, but it was actually just red paint that was spilt on the floor. So that was a nice scene. A lot of the scenes you could say are kind of rehashed, where the boy is meowing, and it shows up, and then someone, dies off like that. But then there's some really cool things that they added new ways people die that I thought were really creative. I will say, The Grudge 3 is rated R unlike the previous two films, the first two films I believe were rated PG-13, so The Grudge 3 is able to get away with a lot more than the first two did. So there are several scenes where there's lots of blood in the movie, and then especially towards the end, I don't want to say what happens, but towards the end, an extremely new concept is revealed, and I really like that. It becomes almost a slasher film towards the end, and I really like that. It starts to get pretty bloody, and I really enjoyed that because it gave the film, I guess you could say, a fresh, new, and an original taste that I thought added to the overall flair of the film in general, and that was just really cool to see that overall. Another reason I liked the film was the acting, and it was actually pretty well done. I was actually able to get somewhat attached to all the characters and feel somewhat of sympathy for them. There's a little girl in the film that seems to have like an asthma problem, it seems, and they keep having to like hook oxygen up to her mouth, and she seems to have some sort of, they don't really say what it is, but there's some sort of lung or some sort of breathing problem, and I thought, I was able to feel for her character, because it's a family that lives there, and the older brother is the one who actually works at the hotel, and he's kind of like the manager, that lets tenants in. He's on the brink of losing his job, and it had a pretty decent plot for a horror film. A lot of times people watch horror films for the deaths. With The Grudge 3, actually had a pretty decent plot where it actually had some pretty good acting in it overall. So that was really cool, just seeing that element to it. And like I said, also Shawnee Smith, who plays the Amanda character in the Saw franchise, plays a character by the name of Dr. Sullivan in this The Grudge 3 horror film on Netflix, and she was actually really cool. And she's only in about the first, I guess you could say, first 30 or 40 minutes of the film, but the parts that she is in, that was really cool seeing her character again, because I think she's a great actress in the Saw franchise, and it's really cool to see her back in another horror sequel. So like I said, the main reasons I liked this film was how it built on the concept. I really liked how it built on the concept. It did have some really nice, eerie, and creepy scenes that added to the overall feel of the film. And then I thought that the acting was really well done, and the overall story of the film was pretty cool. My only really complaint with the film is that I'm going to get pretty spoilerish here in the next few seconds. There's this ceremony that I really love. There's a ceremony sequence that I loved, and in the film, this ceremony sequence is supposed to take care of the grudge. It's supposed to vanquish the grudge, for once and for all, and make the curse no longer exist. Well, this ceremony happens, the little girl drinks the blood from the cup, and, that's what I thought the curse was gone. Well, the last, 5 seconds of the film, you see that the grudge now lives in the little girl, and I was thinking, in my head, I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because if the ceremony should have worked, and it seems that, and I guess that means, that you can't ever kill the curse. The curse is always going to live on no matter what you try to do. Similar to kind of like the Final Destination film, so you can never stop, death. Kind of like that. You can never stop the grudge or the curse from happening, no matter how many ceremonies you try to do, it still can't. But I thought it would have been a nice ending to the whole franchise if they would have just stopped the curse right then. It would have been perfect. But it has one of those kind of cliche endings where, you see the cursed girl again, similar to the way you do in the first two films, where they also have a cliffhanger. But besides that, really enjoyable sequel. Anyways, that's my review for the horror sequel on Netflix by the name of The Grudge 3. And let's go over to my TV and see what the next horror film on Netflix I'm going to be reviewing it. As always, here's my TV, and you can see that the most recent film I watched was The Grudge 3. Select that real quick so you guys can see my rating and all that. I give it 5 stars because I really enjoyed it overall. The category it's in, the director, the actor Shawnee Smith, like I said, and all that kind of stuff. So let's go to the horror section on Netflix and see what the next review I will be doing is. So here's the beginning. Like I said in my previous reviews, I've already seen all of these films. Dante's Inferno is an animated film, so I might still watch that later on, but for now I'm just going to stick to live action stuff. It looks like it's going to be a film by the name of Scary or Die, which I believe is about a clown that, a guy that slowly is turning into a clown, I believe. I think it's what it's about. It's kind of like a curse kind of thing. I believe it's what it's about, but I'm not for sure. And if not that, The Medium Raw, The Shrine, and maybe the film called The Amityville Haunting or Dark House. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my Netflix exclusive review of the horror film on Netflix by the name of The Grudge 3. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.